over there. They're not your friends. You don't go over there and shake hands, smile, hug their neck.
Let's knock them on their backs, butt them in the mouth, knock their ass in the dirt. That's what we got to do.
We got to stop that buddy ball. Smash everybody in the mouth.
Hey, baby! We're going to be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
You're in the Doghouse with Rick Watson and Big Dawg Sports Talk.
Nah, the memories.
The Bear.
Nah.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
What the hell? I copyrighted it.
Do you? We're underdog. We're mutts.
My number one play is the power sweep.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Ludicrous speed! Go!
Welcome into Hour 3.
Oh, they're going to ding me for that. They'll ding me for that because God forbid I use any kind of music here on YouTube without, paying the piper. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, for the inaugural edition of Big Dawg Pop. Glad to have you with us wherever you might be on a Thursday night. And if anybody's interested, jump in and let's rock and roll. As some folks had sent some emails. I've been sending emails out here, so hopefully everybody will get them. Get your email responses, and we're just here without any kind of plan because that's what we are doing. David Mabry's in the house. What's up, Coach? How are you? Good to see you, brother. Welcome to the inaugural BDST Pop. How are you?
I'm great. I don't know how you couldn't be excited to be at the debut of such a cultural event.
It really is, isn't it? It's a cultural event.
Exactly.
Well, we're just going to give it a shot and see how it goes. Hopefully people will remember. And I know a lot of times on the Thursday night, it may not be the most ideal thing. We'll play around with the times of the days and the things that work the best. But so we got 4 other invites sent right now. Anybody just send me an email, hit me up in the comments, or you can hit me up on the DM. You can hit me up at the text line at 391-0788. Yeah, go ahead, my friend.
I was just going to congratulate you.
Well, thank you.
Hats off to you. You had the guts to do it a second time. So,
I did.
hats off to you.
So you'll be going into your second time? Is that what you're telling
me? We ain't quite there yet, brother. We still got a ways to go.
It took the perfect gal, right?
It would have to. It would have to, just for the simple fact that if you've lived alone for a certain period of time and you become set in your ways, it becomes real difficult. Or so I've been told.
Well, that's exactly right. And that's what it was, because you do have your own situation and you have everything played out. And now look at this. We got Morris join us from Florida. What's going on? The wordsmith. What's going on? How's things down there at the Palm Coast? Can you hear me?
Hang on 1 second.
Okay, that's all right. You look great. David, can you see Morris okay?
I can see him and I can hear him. I don't know if he can hear us.
I don't think he can hear us, but we got you. You look great. Look at your style. Look at that Florida air, man. Jeez.
I don't remember sign language or anything, so.
No.
Let's see. Where are you? There you are.
You got
us?
I
got you.
All right. Well, good. Glad you can see us.
So we got Coach David Mabry. I enjoy your Facebook post on the 3 rings. I think you've got the 3 rings on your Facebook page.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Is that the right man? That's the man.
It's been that's a passion project and a expensive project, but I enjoy it. So if you're going to blow money, blow it on something you enjoy.
Rick wouldn't know anything about expensive money on studio or anything.
No.
By the way, cheers to everybody. This is Margaritaville.
By the way, thanks for that, David. That was awesome. David sends me the best stuff, especially when Rags and Marty are on. The highlights. I tell you what, I've sent those to Rags, by the way, and you probably already have his text and everything, but he is really appreciative of seeing those plays, man. And I give you all the credit whenever I send them.
Well,
so.
This won't shock you. I've sent them all to him also. So,
okay. I figured as much.
And I don't know if you realize that there's a single wing clinic this weekend in Blacksburg, and they're coming from all over the nation. And it starts tomorrow, but Ragsdale is speaking Saturday. And
that's awesome.
Obviously the keynote speaker. And what's funny is they listed the order of when people are speaking, and like so-and-so would have an hour, so-and-so would have 70 minutes, so-and-so would have this. And by Coach Ragsdale's name, there was no time listing.
No,
there should be.
So they're going to 30 minutes.
That guy could go for like 2 hours straight.
So they already know, don't they? They already just let him go. We're not going to worry about it. We're just going to let it go.
I was coaching track at Narrows years ago. It was like 90. Well, obviously it was in 94 because my oldest was born in 95, and he was running the high jump. He wasn't coaching or anything, but he was helping during meets, and he was running the high jump. And so I sat down with him for a little bit, and we sat and talked, and I told him how my wife was expecting. And he went on. I mean, he said, well, let me tell you, your life is going to change. You're going to run to the post office, and you got to change the diaper before you go. And you got to, and then you got to get the coat on them. And then you got to get them in the car seat. And said, before it's all said and done, and you check your mail, you've spent 25 minutes running to the post office when it normally takes you 3. And so he just basically described fatherhood to me, not real quick, but pretty succinctly right there.
Yeah. What's up, DVP? I should send you an invite, get you in. That's what I should do to DVP. We'll get DVP on here. What the hell?
Yeah, Rags. I never had him as a coach. I was 78, 77 would have been our last year at Giles. And I played for not Chris, but I was 2 years at Blacksburg. And they had a coach. What was his name there? Anyway, long story short, when Rags took over, he was coach of basketball at Giles. And then when he took over football in 78, after I graduated, when he took over, the couple years prior to that, if you had, and Marty kind of says that, if you had Rags as a algebra teacher, it was tough. And he really didn't handle stupidity well.
I believe it.
And trust me, in Giles County with our Virginia farm boys up there, there was enough stupidity to go around for 4 counties. Ragsdale is a great, I say this on the podcast when he comes on, I say it all the time. The man is about algebra, math, precise facts, and yet his single wing is all about deception. And he can master both of those. It's pretty amazing, really. But brilliant guy in math and algebra, in my opinion, Rags is.
Oh.
So is David Christ.
Well, Ragsdale's an application guy.
Yeah. Oh.
That's how his brain works. He's application.
Yes. Yeah.
And the whole offense.
That's true. That's a great point.
Is basically a formula, and you follow that formula, and it starts through practice and goes through. But yeah, he's that. Some are regurgitators. Some people are regurgitators. He's an applicator.
He's an applicator. That's right. Well, anybody who, if you jump on, you don't have to feel obligated. Just do it however long you want to stay. Like I said, there's no rules to this thing. We're just letting it flow and have some fun here. Big Dawg Pop's first program. Some folks now finding it. We started a little bit before 7 because I want to make sure everything was working, but we're good to go. We got Morris, we got Coach Mabry, DVP's checked in. There's Wayne. What's up, Wayne? You need to get you in here and jump in.
Did you go to a Comic
Browns
Con?
fan.
Did you go to a Comic Con?
I did.
Rick?
I had a great time.
Okay.
I did. I went to Heroes Con down in Charlotte. I guess that's my one thing from childhood that's still a nerd thing. I still, I got into sports and comics and baseball cards and football cards. That's what I grew up with on the farm. I took all my allowance money and I had to go buy all those things. So I was doing some buying and selling. Heroes Con is great down in Charlotte. It's the best. It's kind of the premier one in the Southeast, and hung out with some really cool people. It was fun. That was the back end of our honeymoon, David. So that's how I knew I got the right wife.
How did you manage that early? How did you pull that off that early?
We did the thing at Emerald Isle, and then and then she was like, "Yeah, I'll go," and she loved it. She thought it was great. So
my dog's sitting here making noises.
By the way,
puppy
Rick,
not happy.
By the way, Rick, I was going to tell you, I got on early because I'm on a schedule that's generated by my lovely wife Karen, and I try to stick. I try to stick to it and use it as an application, as Coach said. But
like Coach Rags with it.
if you have other people that want to come on and stuff, I think you only have room for 6. Just tell me and I'll go off.
No, I'm just waiting. We'll see. I don't know. I think it's 6. It might be 8. We're gonna just play with it and see. That's what she said. We're just gonna go with it and see how it goes. So yeah, so far so good. I did send Dwight an invite in case he gets it and wants to jump on. He didn't know for sure. Thursday's his long day, so we'll see.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I have maybe 2 of these cocktails, you may not want me off. It may get real good.
By the way, we're bourbon. Yeah, I was gonna say this thing might turn into something else. We're looking at July. I'm thinking the week after the 4th, guys, for the bash over at the Super Bowl. So we'll have to make a meeting. Actually, I'm going over there tomorrow to talk to them. So Morris, I'll let you know if that works, and we'll try to see if anybody can plan. I want to give people enough time to plan, and I'm going to talk to Jen tomorrow and see when people could actually try to be here. So maybe it'll be the 3rd week. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about the 18th?
Yeah.
That's the better day for me. Obviously, I'm coming from Florida. Yeah, I'm going from Florida, but we have that cabin thing going on in Newport, so I've got to get back up there. So it works. It'll work better for me a little later, but if you have to do it, the key is, I think, getting all the people that come on the Big Dawg Sportscast, what their schedule works out. I'll make it work.
Okay. All right. I'll start throwing that date around the weekend of the 18th. And that's what we'll try to plan on, if all that works. So
we need to do a broadcast live from the brewery. The new one in Pulaski.
Yeah.
I don't know how hard it would be to set everything up, but we could do like one of those WKRP tests and see if we've got one of those things you can tap and see if our reflexes slow down or anything like that.
Yeah. Hey, I'd love that. It'd be a great spot. A brewery would be a great sponsor for the program. I need to reach out. Maybe I can reach out. Yeah, is it cool? I haven't been up there at all, so it's nice. Good. I got to check that out. Coach, Wayne wants to analyze. I see that, Wayne.
Coach, did you? So you coach with Coach Ragsdale, correct?
No, I coached against him. I was at Narrows for a few. I came to Narrows in '86, I think, from Southampton County, and left in '99. And during that time, we had a grand total of 2 wins over Giles, which I'm extremely proud of.
I was going to say, that's okay. You got 2. You got 2.
So, yeah, and the sad part was we had some good football teams, but it was, not to be.
How did your numbers compare to Giles? Did you have smaller rosters then?
It's been, over the years, it's been tough, but Giles has slowly worked down during that time.
I got you.
They've lost numbers as it goes. Narrows' number, like this year, to give you an example, in the VHSL, when they count numbers, they count 9 through 11. They don't count your 12th grade. Nares' number right now is 177.
Okay.
So I could imagine what like Craig counties or or some of the schools like that are. And when I hear, that's one thing I've heard Dwight Vick talk about in the past. He thinks things are watered down and everything, and he wants to see the classifications come back to 3A, 2A, 1A. But the problem you've got is if you do that, the small schools will just be obliterated. And they're talking about, I think the last thing I heard with the VHSL is they're talking about going to a 4 or 5 classification. And the whole thing is, I hope what they do is, if it's 5, leave the top level and leave the lower level alone, and just shuffle the teams between 2A, 3A, 4A, and figure that out. Because if not, there's going to be some big discrepancies in there. And over the years, Nares was stubborn for a lot of years. Which was most of the 80s. They were successful in 81, and then 82, 83, and then it started dropping off. And it was a numbers thing. You're playing in the New River. And the New River was just a beast.
Yeah.
It was just a beast during that time.
Unreal.
And, the Craigs and Auburns, they're up and down. I think, are they 2A now? Are they still 1A? Or I'm not for sure with Auburn now, but
they're 1A. They're 1A. Yeah, they're low.
But it's varied. I know they've grown a little bit just because Christiansburg, everybody's moving out of Christiansburg and wanting to be in more rural setting.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine Nares, Craig County used to be, it was Newcastle Rockets. I guess they changed it to Craig County at some point. But Auburn, there was the small schools were Auburn, Floyd, Nares, Craig County, of course, but Craig County was never in the New River District. No. They were in up Botetourt or somewhere up there, that league up there, I think, right?
They were Pioneer for a little bit, which was wild. They weren't, I don't believe, they weren't the Mountain Empire. And which I would have figured they would have been, but they were in the Pioneer for a little bit.
Is that where Covington and all those places were?
Yeah. And when they were in the Pioneer was, it was Perry McClure loaded, Covington loaded, Bath County loaded. That was probably not the time to be in the Pioneer District.
Probably not.
If you could choose.
Yeah.
If you could choose. DVP said that's what they did in New Jersey as well. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Waynes wants to talk about why Adrian and Daniel LaRusso are the true villains of their movies. Agreed. Well, we know why Adrian is. Come on, we've been through that. We've been through why Adrian's the true villain. We know that.
Rick, how do we comment? How do we comment on the? I always do the comments because we're not on the.
That's a great question. At the bottom,
I don't know.
I have a post a comment. I don't know if that's just because I originate the stream. Do you have? Can you see the comments? Can you see those on your?
I can see them.
Yeah, I can see them.
Do you have a little box at the bottom that you can write in? Does it say?
I've got something on the right hand side of my computer, and it says Studio Chat 3 people, and it's got a place for me to chat. But I don't know if I go to comments, private chat, or recording.
Yeah,
should be post. If you go to comments, it should say post a comment at the bottom.
Let's see. Oh, now it's very easily read. Now I can read everything.
Yeah, go to comments at the very top, and then you can post stuff at the bottom.
I didn't want to have to go to my glasses.
No, exactly.
I'm doing it, and it's bothering me. Looking.
Yeah. Post a comment. It should have whatever your avatar is, and then it has a box. Post a comment because I did that a minute ago, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to say, "What's up, y'all?"
I do realize that when I move my face around, I'm not like Jen. I get uglier. So I got to quit moving.
It's funny how much she primps before she comes on. Remind me to make fun of her.
She's adjusted the whole time. I'm thinking, I guess she's got this down.
Well, she always asks for a little more time because I'll see her in the green room because I can see everybody, and she'll be like, no, she knows I can't hear her, but she'll be like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And then she'll go, okay.
She's a barrel of
now.
fun.
I'm beautiful.
She's a barrel of laughs.
Yeah, Jen's great. Jen's great. Met her at a remote. She was with their band at the time, and she loved sports, and she'd heard the show, and she came over, and the rest is history. You're looking at about a 20, almost a 25-year relationship since I've known her. So there you go. It's hard to believe. Hey, DV, yeah.
Go. I was going to say, I've never met her, but we went to the same high school 10 years, I think around 10, 11 years apart. And everything.
DVP loves your hat. DVP loves your hat, David.
I didn't even know
the damn ball. Run the damn ball hat. Yeah, there you go.
Check that before I went on.
Yep. You talk about application. There's one thing that will never change in football. If you could run that damn ball and get 3 yards or a little over every time, there ain't a damn thing they can do about it.
Correct. Nothing's more demoralizing than being able just to line up and get the yardage you need and just keep the football.
Most demoralizing thing for a defense that there is. Yep, they can run the ball, and we can't stop it.
Becomes a battle of wills at that point.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and I was in power. I coached in power offenses for a good majority of coaching time. And then when I went to Alta Vista, and everything, I went to Rustburg with Mike Sharness and them first, but Mike was still running power I, using the tight end, all that. And Brad Bradley had been running the spread at William Campbell and having a ton of success with that. And when we got to Alta Vista, we were sitting there looking at the talent, and we were like, we've got to do some stuff and spread people out with what we had.
Yeah.
And so, and Coach Sharness was an eye guy, but we slowly put in the spread formation and everything too. And first year we won the state in 2009, we were about half and half, running eye and power eye, and then spreading everybody out. But yeah, it's in the end, you got to be able to run the ball, especially in December.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to win in December.
Absolutely. Well, and Coach Ragsdale talks about that, and their passing game, and David, you coached against it and you were around it. That passing game of theirs was a lot more deadly than people ever would think it would be, given the construct of that single wing. They had some backs that could. Cooney Ratcliffe is one that I remember just from calling games against the Bobcats. That kid was so athletic. He had such a strong arm. Whatever back they used, the kid was so versatile. Such a dangerous thing.
Cooney was a piece of work.
The wild kid.
But yeah, and I think back to games, some of the closer games that we lost.
That's right, Wayne.
When we played them, was, they always same play, reverse pass throwback.
Yeah.
They'd run the wing back, and then all of a sudden the tailback would go back around opposite way, and they'd catch us in man. And there were probably 3 different games where they just broke our back with that. And then they don't run it for 5 years.
Yeah, right.
And then
it goes away. Yeah.
And then they do it to you again.
Let's go do it again.
When I came back to Naris, and I said, we've got to practice, I said, all right, we've got to show them reverse pass throwback. And John Bowman or somebody was saying, well, they haven't run that in years. I said, I don't care. I said, I've been burnt by it too much. I said, we're going to show them reverse pass throwback. Too many close games were lost on that.
Yeah, Wayne, you're right. The whole thing about Virginia Tech, he's talking about 93 to 2012, what we're talking about. You think about all the great linemen that were through there and all the criticism that Steiny received. And, I don't know how everybody thinks, thought about his offense. I know it wasn't always exciting or extravagant or perfect, but Man, that guy could recruit, and he could recruit linemen. Dwight talks about it all the time, and that's been the elixir, or I guess you could say the thing they haven't had. What? How long has it been since Tech's had a good line? I mean,
oh God, it's been
10 years.
That's a good question. It's been at least since the last of Beamer's crowd was there, so that's been 10 years.
Maybe the first couple of years Fuente got here. I don't know, man, but that is the key to the whole thing. That's why I don't know about this team yet. I hear a lot of different things about the personnel on this team than what people want to believe. So we're going to wait and see how all this works out with these guys this year.
You and Dwight were talking this morning, and I've heard it mentioned before. When you're recruiting, sometimes it's almost like a crapshoot because kid, 5-star. Well, what the hell does that mean?
What does it mean?
Right. What does it mean at all? And even when you watch film, what they don't, the advantage you don't have, who are they playing?
Right.
What type of competition are they playing against? And all that. It's almost like an NFL when when they're drafting quarterbacks. That's a crapshoot.
It's a crapshoot. It is. It is.
You might get that one kid that right off the bat or something, but a lot of it's just a crapshoot. And then every once in a while you get that diamond in the rough, the kid for the 49ers, somebody like that. But it's really a crapshoot. And I think with linemen especially, they might look the part. They might be able to look the part, but then again, what happens after the fact, and and you really can't measure work level or anything. You can take the coach's word for it, and a high school coach is not going to say anything to demean his kid.
No, he's going to build him up. Yeah, regardless.
Yeah, and try and get him in school. So yeah, it's interesting as far as trying to get all that. I just saw one of my old players on our 09 team, on our 09 state team, Shane Collins, who was a offensive tackle for us. He was 6 foot. Shane's about 6'3", 6'4" at the time, and about 280. I mean, those cats on single A just don't come. And I mean, he could play. He could play. And his son is playing for LCA now, and his son just got an offer from Norfolk State. So Mike Vick has given him an offer. In fact, I just saw it just right before we came on here.
Good.
So
Good.
That's how I know I'm getting old.
We're working on Mike, Dwight and I, for our debut show in the fall. So we hope that is going to happen. So he thinks that'll happen. So
I think
little insider info for you guys. So
I think he's probably easier accessible than a lot of other higher tier named folks.
He's a very humble guy for what he went through.
Oh yeah.
People think but he's not. He's not what he used to be. He's completely rehabbed himself, and I think it's very admirable. And it really kind of pisses me off every time you post something about Mike, as I did when he got inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame. I had all these people popping up about what had happened, what he had done, and all these hateful comments. And I mean, yeah, it was a horrible thing. All right, everybody screws up. Hell, I screwed up 10 times today, But I mean, the guy paid the price. He never fought it, served his time, and what does he do? He gets his ass out of jail, goes to the NFL, and lights it up again with a different organization, right? I mean, and now he's coaching young men. I mean, I think it's admirable what he has done. He didn't give in. He could have ended up – he said it many times. He just could have ended up dead. I mean, he could have just given up. He got that depressed. So you can't take back what you do, but my goodness, is what you do going forward. And I think Michael Vick has shown that he's done exactly what you're supposed to do.
I think Dwight talks about it some because I think Dwight, that's his cousin, right? And
yeah, they're very close. Yeah. They're very close. Yeah.
And Mike grew up, you grew up in the projects at Newport News. Then you go to Tech, and then after Tech, and they kept, I think Beamer and them kept Michael pretty much under wraps when he's there. They couldn't do that with Marcus because then Mike Vick, he goes to Atlanta. He gets the largest contract ever paid at that time. I think it was $50 million. And you're from the projects. And now you got $50 million. And all those kids you grew up with on the streets down there
coming at you.
They're wanting to know if you still know them or not.
Yep.
And Mike, if you talk to him, and I've talked to him only a few times, and I guess Dwight could say this, if you talk to Mike Vick, you can't help but like him. You just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, he's easy to talk to. He's very accessible. In my opinion, I've only met him a couple times, but he probably just had so many people pulling at him. And that's a hard thing, in my opinion, for these kids go from high school into college. Then they get a big contract. They get a lot of money that money that most of us will never see. And to go just athletically from high school to college to NFL, that transition is so huge. And then you just dump on them just truckloads of money. Talking about screwing with your head, I can't imagine it. I've never known it, but I can't imagine having all that transition that quick. You're talking about that transition happened within a 5-year period, 5 or 6 year period, when you're between 18 and 22, 24.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
And you hit it on the head too about friends and stuff coming out of the woodwork. I coached Juan Thornhill, who was our quarterback at Altavista in 12, 13, and 14. And he went on, got drafted by the Chiefs, and was a starter on the on 2 of the Super Bowl teams, 2 Super Bowl wins. And then they lost the Super Bowl against Brady. He was in that one. And one of the things he said to us one day when he came in, I never realized I had so many cousins. And it's just and it's not just that. As far as the financial end, everybody wants a piece of you. They want to pat you on the back, or they want
100%.
It's not. It might not, like I said, it might have nothing to do with money, but they want a piece of you in some way, shape, or form. And he was talking about getting used to that. Now he was pretty well grounded when he left, but him talking about the stuff he went through, and I can imagine what the Vicks went through with that whole process. And we were talking a whole lot more money. So
easily a $10 million pay for play player today. I don't have any hesitation saying that. If he was coming off that redshirt freshman season after what he had done, taking Virginia, that guy's making $10 million a year.
Well,
unapologetically.
here's a hypothetical what if Tech beats Florida State. All right. Is Michael Vick in the same breath as the Paul Hornings and the the Peyton Mannings and the Joe Theismanns and the legendary super legendary players? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, he is a Hall of Famer anyway.
That's great.
Got to work him out. It's been a while. Yeah, there he is. That guy.
Yeah. I was at that game, Coach. I was at the Florida State Virginia Tech game in Sugar Bowl, and just ran out of Michael Vick could do it on his own. And you talk about Florida State, and they had lines both sides of the ball, and you can't put it all on one guy. And he damn near did it. I mean, they had the lead in the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah,
he almost did it.
He almost
because they couldn't catch him.
Peter Warwick made just a few too many more plays than number 7. That's what it came down. Number 9 outplayed number 7, but just a little.
And talking about the money, I think I've shared this story with you, Rick. When I've been in Florida 25 years, but when I first went there, Don Strock was the head coach at FIU. And Donnie Marsh, which came from Virginia Tech, he was the head coach of basketball. So got to know both. I knew Donnie because I had his business when I was in Blacksburg. And then Don Strock, I kind of got to know then, even though I was a huge fan as 14, 15-year-old when he got drafted. And but Don Strock, I went over, they were in a trailer outside of FIU is where his first office was, because he was a transitional coach to get them in order to play football from, I guess it was 99 to 2002, 3. He started the whole program from ground up. And so I got to know him. And when I was in his office, Donnie Morris took me over to his office, and I started telling Don about just enjoying him when he was playing. I was a kid watching him play. And so when I was getting ready to leave, Don's a tall guy. He's like 6'3", 6'4". So he stood up. I'm 6 foot. He's down over me. He looks down and he's poking a brochure in front of me. He says, by the way, he says, I have a children's diabetes golf tournament. And that time had been going for 20 some years. He said, I'd like you to sponsor and play in, because he knew as a business came down. I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do it if you put me on your team. So he said, I'll do it. So I joined, and they play it at, still played, I think, at Miccosukee Golf in Kendall. So I did it. And then when I went to the golf tournament, it was me, Don Strock, Dan Marino, and Eric Palms was the team. Eric Palms, cool. The director of the Orange Bowl. So we had that, got to know him, started playing in the tournaments after that. So we're playing a tournament, and Marcus gets drafted or free agent or something, goes to Miami. So me and Don are talking. I said, well, we got a Virginia Tech guy, Marcus Fick's coming down here and all that. I said, that sounds good. He said, Morris, listen, because remember, Marcus kicked the guy at the Gator Bowl. It got all that shit in the, pardon French, got all that stuff in the Roanoke Times. Yep. Kicked that guy. Beamer couldn't handle it, kicked him off the team. He went through all that. I think he had some drug problems, some other stuff up there. I can't remember. But Don said, well, tell you what, Morris, if he's got problems with women and drugs, he'd be in jail. Probably Miami is not the best place
you want to go. Right.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Stay out of Miami. Wayne says Mike changed the stadium from 40 to 66. Yes. He did play a part in the campus and in the bypass, no doubt. So you give credit to both. Beamer recruited him and got him there, but Mike Vick filled the stadium. There's no question. Changed everything about not only here but the game.
Yeah, that south end zone, which I contributed. That south end zone. That's Michael Vick.
Yeah,
he changed that whole culture and the people and all that. I was going to say before, too, we was talking about running the football. I got to get a cap like that. I love a cap.
No.
Run a damn ball.
Everybody loves David's cap.
This was talking about one of my daughters.
Talking about running the ball, and there's nothing you can do about it. The most demoralizing thing to a defense that you could do. The other thing, and I remember this, sitting in the stadium at Tech, and I remember Sports Illustrated, and they had Sweet Little Thing or whatever Beamer at that time called the Beamer ball, which they were blocking kicks like just hand over fist. I mean, they were blocking kicks. If you lined up to either punt it, kick a field goal or whatever, I mean, you could feel the energy in that stadium, and the fans had it. It's like, we want to see you kick it. We want to see if you can kick it.
He made a punt. A fan of it. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And they'd hold out the keys. We would hold out the keys, and it was a key play and all that. And the whole stadium would go nuts. And they would block probably a third of those kicks back in the time.
That's crazy. The success rate.
Either that or they would alter it. If they didn't block it, there was going to be some alteration going on with the way the guy kicked it or punted it or whatever. Boy, those were great times. It's just a shame that Beamer, he got the ACC championships and stuff, but he never got that natty, and that's sad because Beamer is as much of a class act, probably him and Bowden and a few others, that's ever been in college football, in my opinion.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore. Those types of guys don't exist. It doesn't. The machine won't allow them. I'll defend the coaches today a little bit. The machine won't allow them to be like those guys were. Bobby Bowden was the same way. You're exactly right. I mean, it was different. Just interviewing coaches, reaching out to them, conversations. Bobby Bowden used to be on the old show twice, and one time he'd talk about football, the other time he'd talk about fishing, traveling through this area, hunting. It didn't matter. He would just talk to you about stuff, and I can't imagine you could do that today with very many guys. They're just so protected. They make so much money. The agents get involved. It's hard. You reach out to local. I reach out to guys all the time. You don't get no's right off the bat, but things just don't materialize. It's right. Interesting. It's changed a lot. So
yeah. Frank, yeah, without a doubt, Frank's a card though. He's
oh yeah.
I got a decent story. We went to I'm not sure if I was at Rustburg or Alta Vista, but we went to the Tech football clinic, and this was the night when they pull out the keg of beer and they make steaks, and you eat, and you're having the steaks and drinking beer and everything. And Coach Beamer came over and sat with us. And of course, I'd known Frank since, the Naras days earlier. We had interactions and stuff and everything. And we're sitting there talking, Coach Sharness and all of us, and Frank sits down with us, and here comes another coach who had been to the keg more times probably than he should. And he goes, Coach Beamer, can you tell me where the local men's establishment club would be? And he goes, I tell you what, if you ask Coach Mabry right here, he can direct you right to the front door.
Coach Mabry knows exactly where it is.
I'm like, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And I mean, yeah, he couldn't wait to get that one off.
Beaver had a sense of humor.
Oh, without a doubt.
He has a sense of humor, I should say.
And just very, very sharp.
Very sharp.
Very sharp.
He knew in his book, I think he talks about when he went to work for Jerry Claiborne at Maryland, because he played under Claiborne, and when he went to Maryland, he tells a story about, I guess it was Cheryl talked him out of it, but Coach Claiborne at Maryland gave him a job that was like the shit job, just starting out as the youngest coach coming in. And he said he was running around doing some mediocre job. And he said, I was just sitting down the end zone. I was thinking, like, do I really want to do this? I mean, I could be in this position forever. Do I really want to do this? And I guess it was Cheryl said, hey, you came up here. It's Coach Claiborne. You love Coach Claiborne. You need to continue it. And I guess after that, maybe he went to Citadel or somewhere after that. I think Shane was born in Charleston. But anyway, it's a good book. Beamer's book's a good book. But he was at the point a couple times, I think, out of that book of just, I really want to do this. And I'm sure when he was at Murray State, when Bobby Ross turned down the job at Tech and said, listen, that guy you need is out there at Murray State. He loves Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And they hired
he's one
him.
Of you.
Yeah, they tried to hire Bobby Ross, and they tried to hire Spurrier, and he went to Duke.
Went to Duke, yeah. He was the third choice. He was
good
the bride.
God, I'm old, man. I am really old. Jesus Lord.
It's amazing how things work out, man, isn't it? It's like David, second marriage, man. Maybe this will be it. Maybe it was the third choice, so we'll see.
You go.
Yeah, we'll see. But he's very humble. He thought he was. He walked into Dave Braden's office and he was ready. He goes, "I'm out of here. The old Cheryl, I'm done. They're going to fire me today." And what happened? No, we're gonna. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to get rid of this guy. You got to get rid of that guy. But let's go. Let's go one more year. Let's see what we got. I got enough backing to go. Oh, okay. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Which for Frank was tough.
Yeah.
Because of his loyalty and everything.
He didn't want to get rid of people. Yeah.
He was loyal to his staff and loyal to his people, and that's and that.
Yep. And think about too what Breen, when he gave him the ultimatum, listen, we'll keep you, but you got to let go of some staff. And he let go of Larry Creekmore and Duke Strager, and I'm pretty sure they played with Beamer on those Claiborne teams. I mean, they were buddies.
They were pals. Yeah.
And he had to let him go.
Biggest influences in Tech. Ooh, that's a great one, Wayne. Wow. Beamer, obviously. Vic Foster, Bruce Smith. Frank Mosley. You know why I know that? Frank Loria.
Don Strock.
I mean,
Mike Burnup.
Mike Burnup. Yeah. So Frank Mosley, my first wife, that's his granddaughter. So I knew all about the Mosley. Coach was already gone, but so I knew all about Mosley Field, the practice field, and all that, and the Alabama connection, Bear Bryant. So he did a lot of things that helped modernize Tech into the 70s, from the 60s to the 70s. I mean, there's just so many that you can think of that where this program was, but it's always going to be Frank Beamer. I mean, in terms of the one guy, right? Just
no question.
Yeah.
Bruce Smith, yes. Tech got in some trouble with Smith, obviously, but as a player, Bruce Smith was the first really great generational player, no doubt. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer in the NFL. But Mike, for me, it goes Beamer and Vic. I don't think anybody surpasses those two guys.
And I think the big thing too with Smith and Vic that impresses me is what they became after they left Tech. And with Vic, what he became after his trouble and everything. And Bruce Smith, just, when he did interviews at Tech and everything like that, they were typical kid, younger person speaking. And then all of a sudden you see him now and you think he's reading Shakespeare, mean, just, and what they've been able to do, as far as giving back. That's the thing too.
Y'all want to feel old. I think it was yesterday. I think I saw he turned 63.
Who was that?
Bruce.
Oh, Bruce Smith. I met him at the inn. I think I've met him at Foundation stuff before, but I saw him at the inn, Virginia Tech, one of the up-present meetings. And you watch him on TV, but then when I saw him there, he was no tall. I'm 6 foot. He was no taller than me. And I'm thinking, I thought you would be huge. He wasn't all that huge, but he was fast. I mean, and I remember those days when he played and that Bruce going across the stadium. Remember they had to go to Floyd and get a judge over there so he could play in that Independence Bowl. Bruce Smith, he done something or infraction or something doing the crew did or something, and they had to go to Floyd to a judge over there to get I don't know, an injunction or something so he could play in the bowl game.
What's up, DVP?
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got us, Morris, Coach Mabry, Denny Van Pelt, Radford Hall of Famer, by the way, in the house.
How you guys doing?
We're good, man. Thanks for jumping on. How are you?
I got about 3 more days of school left, and then we're finally done.
Congratulations on that. You remember those days? That's late. Lad, you're looking at late June, aren't you? Wow.
We had late up here in New Jersey this past year.
There we go. Yeah.
Then I ran into a fourth one when I came down to Radford for the opening weekend.
Let's see here. Anybody else doing there? Oh, okay. Cool. I was just checking out this. This is the first time we've had 4 people on for a while, so I was just making sure everything. Yeah, we still got some room here. We could get another person or 2 here. Sorry, just checking this thing out as we go here. As we go here. So that's good. That's good. Wayne likes your hat too, DVP. Yeah, I like that. That's the official Radford baseball hat.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I never got one of those, but that's nice. That's nice.
Hard time finding one because I got like a dome head, an eight head.
Yeah.
Good hat for me.
Morris, you got to get a hat on. You're the only one without a hat. Let me get the comments off the stage. We were hiding Morris.
I want that hat coach has got. Run a damn ball.
Well, Morris has got a head full of damn hair.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, need a hat.
Why would you wear a hat? That's true. That looks. Yeah, that's a great point.
It's funny when I went to my class reunion at Giles High School. I said, "Shit, you still got a full head of hair and all that. You still look young." And I said, listen, when I first went to South Florida, I said, my mom always had a saying, you can't fix ugly and you can't fix stupid. So after I got to South Florida, I said, Mom, you're 50% right. But if you're ugly, they can ship your ass to Boca Raton. They'll fix it and you'll come out looking like a swan song. But if you're stupid, you're not
what
fixing
year did you graduate from Giles?
78.
78. I was 78 from Christiansburg.
Yeah, it's funny. Ron Shelburne was on this morning with Virginia Farm Bureau. As you know, I know Ron because he came into Farm Bureau about late 80s, early 90s when I was leaving. We had a manager over there by the name of Jim Kirk. He was huge into Christiansburg Demon football. So several years later, me and Jim are standing down to the end zone. Giles was on a tear. I mean, this was after the 80s season and all that, and they were on tear. So me and Jim Kirk, great guy, we're standing down there in the end zone. He says, listen, he said, whatever they're running there, he said, that's not fair. He said, it's too deceptive. I said, Jim, it's a single wing offense. They've been running that shit for like 100 years. I said, this is not new, man.
Been running Giles County since 1931. They should be able to do that.
DVP, you related to any of the Van Pelts at all? There's a lot of good Van Pelts, man. Good Lord.
When I actually had a football visit at Michigan State back in the day, and that was one of the first things I got asked because Brad Van Pelt was a legend.
Van Pelt, yeah.
And I was actually there on it was a spring visit, and I was when Tony Manders was still there working out. And you want to talk about somebody going after it with weights? I'd never seen anybody lift weights like this guy lifting that day. It was absolutely insane. Guy was a beast.
Number 10, right?
Brad
Van Pelt. Number 10 is
Giants, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Was he a defensive end? Yeah.
He was an outside linebacker, but he was hey.
You guys hang on 1 second. I gotta get a ball cap.
No, you've got the hair. We just said you got hair. We don't. David and I don't. DVP could though. DVP just keeps his tight because he's styled. Yeah, DVP's got hair. He got hair. He's
got
just
very little.
I just can't. Oh, my hair is all messed up. But single wing offenses. So I guess it was 94. Kelly Dampier went to Northside High School, and he dragged me over to Pulaski to watch Northside play. And he had told me, wait till you see this offense they're running over here. And I'd never seen anything as crazy as I saw what they were running at Pulaski, that single. It was a well-oiled machine, that offense. And they just kicked the heck out of Northside.
Hey, guys, we got a treat right now. Look at this. Coach Elmo in the house. What's going on, Coach?
Well, I was listening, and Coach Mabry, did you play for Phil Robbins at Seaburg?
Phil came in my senior year, and I tore my ACL.
Okay. Great coach, great man. I love that guy.
But I knew Phil real well, especially afterwards. after I graduated and everything. I did. I was with the Ferrum football program for a while. The year after, year before you came.
Wow!
And I was there and just getting the crap beaten out of me every day. And I was putting my body back together with tape and bubble gum. And
so you played you played there?
I was there for, well, I don't know if it would technically, it doesn't count because I didn't finish. And I went to talk to
not many people did. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
I went to talk to Coach Norton, and I went to breakfast check because I did not dare miss breakfast check in the mornings. Yep. And when I went to talk to Coach Norton, I said, look, I'm getting the hell beat out of me every day. I'm having to put my body back together. I know I shouldn't do this, but I said, I think I'm going to have to give it up. And I was prepared for him to say, son, you should stick it out. You should do this. He puts his arm around me and he goes, son, I think you've made a great decision. But what he did, he showed me the film projector and had me do some stuff with film and the projector that year. And it kick-started me into the whole coaching.
How about that?
Deal. So
there you go.
Coach, I think you got an echo. By the way, it's good to meet you, Coach Elmo.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Been a great fan.
Well, I appreciate that. There are not many people that can say that, so I do appreciate that.
And by the way, you'll appreciate this, that they were tired of my hair, so I had to get a damn ball cap on. So I feel like I'm part of you guys. This ball cap is from the 23 College World Series. I've been to 2 of them. I went in 17 and 23. College World Series in Omaha is a special place.
It's a bucket list. It's a bucket list. I went when I was coaching at Nebraska. The University of Nebraska had a great team. Matter of fact, I can't remember the pitcher's name. Ended up pitching for the Yankees. Starter. Great player. And they were like 8th in the country. And I went to and experienced it. And I'm gonna tell you, anybody and everybody, it's a bucket list thing to do.
Yep. And I think you'll agree with this, Coach. And this is my opinion, but the Midwestern people are the best. And the people around there, and the great thing when I watch it now on TV, I know all those places, the restaurants around, all the way over to Council Bluff in Iowa. But all that stuff there, and then the people are just the people in the steakhouses are absolutely amazing.
Exactly. You know what's crazy is when we went there, Mississippi State and LSU were not in the tournament. But people, they had gone there so many times, their vacations were planned around going to Omaha following Mississippi State and LSU. There were more LSU Mississippi State people there, and they weren't even in the tournament. And they were there for the whole week. That just blew my mind.
I tell you what, in 17, Florida in the World Series played LSU. And then in 23, they played LSU again. They won in 17. They lost to LSU in 23. So when we went there, and Florida, I mean, they travel very well. LSU, it was stupid. I mean, Florida took a lot of people, but LSU, that's a different category.
Yeah, when I was coaching there, the Friday night before the game on Saturday, the tailgating it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. That place sold out. Wasn't a very fancy stadium, but you couldn't get a seat.
About Box Stadium?
Yeah. Box Stadium. Yeah.
Go see 1,000 people there. It's got to be insane.
Chris, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys fine. Can y'all hear me?
Welcome. What's going on, C-List? How you doing?
Man? How y'all doing, man? How y'all
Good,
doing?
Man.
It's good to put a face. Yeah, good to put a face with all these.
I'm seeing people that I just hear.
Yeah, all the time.
Good to put a face with the
No
great
doubt,
tech.
man. No doubt, man.
You see
No
this
doubt.
ugly damn thing every day, but it's nice to see everybody.
Yeah, man, that's what's going on, man. I just wanted to make sure I popped in, man, and in the inaugural, Big Dawg Pop, and just show you some love, man. I was out and about.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. The boss had called when I first came in, and I had to handle that. So
that's all right. That's all right. I see that star behind you, by the way. So
absolutely. When I'm not harassing you in the morning, I got a podcast it's called Franklin Football. We've been doing it about 4 years. Yeah, we've been doing about 4 years. We do Dallas Cowboys. We do the whole NFL. Listen to David Smith. I listen to his stuff, kind of mesh it against ours. And just doing from there, man. But just wanted to show you some love, man. I end up falling into your show by accident, honestly. I listen to Boundary Corner, and me, Brian, Curtis, Tally, and Dwight Vick, we talk all the time. So Brian comes on Tuesday. So I started listening on Tuesdays. And then, you just end up listening to everybody that comes through. And then, Dwight does on Thursdays. So I just started following you and listening, and really enjoy the show, man, every day. And I kind of alternated, some mornings I have to go to prayer, pray in the morning, then I'll come in. My brother's like, yo, why you don't come every day? I said, because I got another show I listen to all the time. So he looked at me like I'm crazy. But I say, but I still pray afterwards. But I gotta get my 2.5 hours of fussing with Rick about pay for play, and people only wanted to play for money, and then Coach Elmo telling them, hey, and it's so it's my therapy. So it's what we do.
It is therapy. That's a good word. It is therapy. You're right. It's therapy.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, that's how I found the show. I found it by accident too. What the hell's going on, Rick?
Right.
It's like an accident waiting to happen.
No doubt, Coach. Well, I mean, I'm kind of new. Well, not really new. I live in the 757, and I got indoctrinated to Southwest Virginia by accident. So I'll be real brief. My nephew his name is Sean Mitchell. Sean Mitchell is one of the VHSL all-time leading passers in yards, touchdowns, completions out at Oscar Smith High School. And Coach Beamer had given him a scholarship. And so he had a scholarship to Tech. He was all excited, whole nine, like, all right, great. Then Fuentes, and then, Coach Beamer leaves. Fuentes comes in, pulls the scholarship. So from that point, I was like, I hated Tech. I ain't want nothing to do with it. They did my nephew wrong. And I was like, I'm done with it. So long story short, a couple years later, my son came along. He is the VHSL all-time leader in yards and touchdowns, second in receptions, and he's on the team now. And,
how about that?
Yeah, and so I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to go up here. And from the first time I came there, I absolutely fell in love with that place.
There you go.
I've never met a mean person in Blacksburg ever, and I've been up there for 3 years now. I mean, I've never met a mean person, never harsh word, nothing. I'm like, man, what's going on? But it's just the genuineness of it. And like when, you talk about it, Rick, about, with Coach Pride and everything, Coach Pride was, they had funding, but he was selling, come be a part of it, come rebuild it, come get it back to where it was going. And, but that's hard to do, man. It's really, really hard to do with not a lot of funding, not a lot of support from that side for the resources part. But the fan base has always been the same. But just really, really excited about what Coach Franklin's bringing to the table and the different things of that nature.
That's good. What high school did your son play for?
He played at Green Run.
At Green Run, cool.
Yes, sir.
They had great players. That's a great high school program. Great players.
Yeah. Guys mess with me because I'm trying to always send up every good Green Run player to Blacksburg.
Well.
so they call me my buddies call me the godfather of Green Run, but I'm just trying to send all the good players to
Well, didn't Coach Franklin sign a big tackle offensive lineman from Green Run?
He signed Tommy 6'7", 317 pounds when I sent him up, and great kid. He came in late. He just came in. I seen him when he came back. Coach Losi is playing no games in the weight room.
Yeah.
He looks really good.
I love that kid. I evaluated that kid. I thought he was a great player.
How many money bags you put on him, Coach?
I gave
how many
him
money
3.
bags you put? Coach, you gave him 3?
3
yeah,
out of
he's
4.
worth all 3 of those. He's a Saturday guy. Yeah, he's a Saturday guy gonna go play Sundays, man. Really, really good kid.
3 out of 4.
I thought he was one of the top kids in the state. Hey, David, when I do Rick, when I do a radio show with Greg Roberts, WFIR, and he has me evaluate prospects. So instead of giving him stars, I do money signs.
I like it.
Which is 100% accurate now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might as well give him money signs. What are you going to give him? I give him one money sign, maybe 1.5. But yeah, cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. He's got it. Now I'm gonna give Coach. I'm gonna send Rick a couple other guys. I want you to go look at. We got another kid. They got Zayon Cleveland. He's a cornerback that we brought. He came up late as well. He's from Green Run this year. But his younger brother is a defensive end down there. I'll send that to you. And there's one other kid that nobody else has seen, Coach. And I want you to see him first. And I'm gonna say this to y'all right now. Of all the kids in the 28 class that are gonna come out, it's gonna be a gang of kids. I want y'all to remember this name, Junius Clay. Junius Clay.
All right. I'm going to write that down right now.
Defensive end. Yeah, write it down. Defensive end. Yeah, he had 28 sacks last year as a sophomore going to his junior year. He's a sophomore. This is his junior year. And he's totally off the radar. Nobody knows he's out there. I'm trying to hide him from the world.
If I was still recruiting the Peninsula, you'd be my guy. We'd be going around together. We'd go turn over some rocks, go find some players.
Yeah, we got some guys. I do a little bit of that, but I really try to be in the shadows. And
those guys in the shadows are the best guys to be around.
I try to be that, Coach. I try to be that. I don't want anything.
Hey, listen, I was
Only the
guy,
shadow does.
I found Lawrence Taylor at Williamsburg, at University of Richmond. He's coming to Richmond. Nobody was recruiting Lawrence Taylor, and I mean nobody. And he ended up going to Carolina, and that's a whole different story. But the Peninsula, man,
whole different story. It's some guys.
You can turn over some rocks down there.
How did you lose that battle, Coach?
What's that?
How did you lose that battle?
Oh, well, I didn't lose it. He's coming. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's us and, nobody. And what happened was the story that I heard was Mike Mansfield, Coach Dooley's strength coach. They're watching players, and apparently, hey, who's this defensive end? This is like the middle of January, about 3 weeks before the official signing. And that's the rest is history. That's how they got him. The head coach, Mike Bucci, was a William Mary grad, and assistant Barry Beers was in the William Mary. I played with Coach Beers, the assistant coach at Lafayette at William Mary, and he told me about him. And I saw him in conditioning on a track for their summer conditioning, and I offered him a scholarship right there just watching him run the track, and that's truth.
Wow.
I told him, I said, look, Coach Tate's the head coach at Richmond. I said, he's the guy, going to have to see you on film, but if you play like what I just saw you run, we're taking you.
Man.
I watched you play Hampton High School in the opener, and there must have been 10, 20, 15 college scouts watching Lamont Holt and Desmond Holloman. One went to Tennessee, one went to Virginia, 2 linebackers for Hampton. And none of them were looking at this little DN tight end. Nobody. And no one recruited him. It's in his book.
Wow.
He didn't mention my name, but he remember.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Love the Peninsula.
Yeah.
Too bad you didn't have your $sign rating back then.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord,
Yeah.
you might have had to reinvent it.
You know what's crazy? I drove back down. I told Barry, Coach Beers, I said, don't let him do anything. I'm coming back. I was in New Jersey. I got in the car, came right back, and met him at the school. I said, Lawrence, why? The stupidest question you could ever ask. Why? Because I felt like saying, can you take me with you? We'll make it a package deal. You and me, Lawrence.
Right. Yeah.
He said, you know what his answer was? Social life. He was a wild, great kid, but he was a wild hair, and he was I told Jim Tate when I came back watching him play, I said, Coach Tate, I said, I don't like using superlatives in evaluating players, but this is I was only 26 years old at the time. I said, in my my career in this business, this is the best football player I have ever seen, and that's playing in my short time coaching. And
wow,
but he was special. He was really special.
Bill Belichick says the same thing, Coach. Bill Belichick says he has zero peers. Doesn't matter who I've coached, no matter how many Super Bowls, there's only one. And he was. Listen, I went through that stage at the Peninsula during the 70s and 80s, and even through the 90s to a point where, some of the greatest players that ever played in the NFL, Kenny Easley, Bruce Smith, Michael Vick,
right?
Lawrence Taylor. These are the best that ever played, ever. They talk about Texas as a state.
Christ.
Here's this little pocket in Virginia, the southeastern corner of Virginia. And I've seen them all. Kenny Easley was at Oscar Smith, playing for Tommy Rhodes, former coach at Green Run, good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. He was special. He was just really special.
How did he end up at UCLA, Coach? He was
four-time
All-American. All-American.
I'll tell you that story because he visited Richmond. We got him. Tommy Rhodes brought him up to Richmond to visit as a favor from me.
All roads to the Hall of Fame go through Richmond.
Yeah. So Kenny was a quarterback. He was a quarterback. Michigan, Bo Schembechler recruited him as a quarterback. And he ran 4.7. He was a 4.65. Tommy Rhodes drove down to South Carolina. Jim Carlin was the head football coach. Drove down to South Carolina because Tommy Rhodes played quarterback at South Carolina, brought the film in there, and they said, well, at that time, the black quarterbacks, they weren't recruiting them. No. They just weren't recruiting them. No. But still at the same time, he wasn't. Bo Schembechler offered him as a quarterback. Well, South Carolina, they wanted him as a safety, and they watched him as a safety, and they rejected him because Tommy Rhodes said, "Don't tackle anybody unless you have to." And he wasn't that fast. He was about a 4.6 kid, 4.65. Didn't have great speed, but he was as good an athlete to ever come out as a skilled kid in the Peninsula. And the Oscar Smith football at that time was not very good. They were really poor. And he went to Kansas. But Ken Donahue came out to the East Coast and told the kid he was going to be a defensive back, and that's what he wanted. He wanted to play in the NFL, and he knew that his skill, even the skill level, let alone that at that time that the NFL and the college were not recruiting the black athletes at quarterback, but he knew his best chances to play in the NFL was at defensive back, and that's how he got to UCLA. Because they made it. Because Bo wanted him as a quarterback, and he's not going to go.
Hey, Coach Elmo. Yeah. Coach Elmo, I want to tell you something. I'm not a medical doctor, but these stories you remember from 40 years ago, you will never have Alzheimer's.
Him and Rags will never suffer from Alzheimer's.
No.
Them jokers pull up stuff.
No way.
You be like, God dang, I can't remember what I had for breakfast. What the heck they get this from? Right, absolutely.
I don't get it. I know. It blows me away.
Listen. What you don't realize, Coach Mayberry, you'll appreciate this. Our warm-ups at Ferrum was arm circles and bull in the ring. That's how we warmed up. That was our pre-warm-up. I did so much bull in the ring. You know, every time I forget something, I tell my wife, I go, hey, concussion syndrome. And that has worked very well for me.
Hey, Coach Elmo, when you were at Richmond, you never worked for Dal Shealy?
No, Dal followed. When matter of fact, I left Richmond and went to Ferrum. I knew Dal very well. Knew him very well. And he did a great job at Richmond. Great coach. How did you know Dal? What was your?
My high school football coach went at course at Newman, I think.
This is
drawing way back. But my high school football coach before Ragsdale, Roy Bayless, I'm pretty sure him and Dal Shealy were Carson Newman and about the same era. And he loved Dal Shealy. He just spoke about how good a man he was.
He did a great job at Richmond. You know, at the time, you know, Richmond went independent when I was there, and we were playing cheese whiz. Well, we beat Virginia Tech 2 years in a row, and we beat North Carolina when they had Lawrence Taylor. We beat them in City Stadium. I mean, it was phenomenal. Wow. We lost to West Virginia 9-6, and we played Wisconsin, lost to them 7-6. It was a bear of a schedule, and those kids, they played as hard as they could play. We were way over scheduled back then at Richmond at the time. But Coach Lester, I'm gonna get off, Rick, but I don't want to take too much oxygen here. But I'm gonna throw a name out to you. I'm gonna throw a name out to you, Chris. Yeah. Al Chambly. Does that name sound familiar to you for Green Run?
No. Coach, let me tell you how I got here. Okay. I got here. There go my guy right there. That's the big homie right there. The big fella. Hey, I'm gonna tell you how I got here, Coach. I'm a Navy vet. Okay. I'm from Charlotte. I'm from North Carolina. So I turned around in '99. I got transported to the 757. And it's been like the Bermuda Triangle. I've been trying to leave for 26 years, and God making a point that I stay and I stay. So I finally resigned. I finally gave up to it, but I got the Green Run by total accident. So you know, my kid was playing and everything, and we were gonna go. I wanted to go wherever they were gonna throw the football, and I ended up, you know, I was gonna go to Maury, but the boss, which is my wife, said I'm not living in Norfolk to go to Maury because there was like a lot of hey Dwight, how can we say it? Underdeveloped housing areas around Maury.
Yeah, it was a lot of projects.
There you go. I didn't want to say it that way, but that's what it was. And my wife said, hey, I understand. So my wife said, we work too hard to go to live in the project. So long story short, we live 2 blocks away from Green Run. I took a call from Coach Payton. It's the best phone call I ever took in my life, man. And the rest is history, man. But what I do now, man, is I just, like I said, I go talk to a lot of the kids, a lot of families. My son is part of this first evolution of NIL kids and stuff like that. And then when I don't know the answers, I talk to the big fella, and then he gives me that, and we go from there.
Yeah.
So hold on. I know Coach Al Mason is about to get off, but I gotta say this, Rick. How many times have I told you how great Coach Al Mason is? Right?
Yeah.
So let me say this. So I'm a Hampton High crabber during the golden era. The only negative is I didn't win a state championship, but I was in high school. And Coach Mike Smith and Coach Mitchell, God rest his soul, would talk about Al Mason. So one time I was on varsity all 4 of my years, and I see this guy coming down with Coach Smith, right? I saw him early in the building in the hallway. Coach Al Mason was recruiting. I don't know if he was at Tech yet, But he was there, and him and Coach Mike Smith are talking. I said, "Damn, this guy looks crazy. He's intense." But I was like a freshman, so I was scared of everybody, right? I didn't realize how big I was. So later that afternoon, I saw Coach Almation watching us practice. And then I was like, he was just watching, and he was just taking notes. And then I had the privilege, I was heavily recruited. I was recruited by UVA, Notre Dame, Florida. I signed with Virginia Tech. And that year, and this is why I respect Beamer so much, it was like the most personalities on the staff in Virginia Tech history. You had Coach Tranquil, who was from the NFL, Coach Almation, Foster was a linebacker coach, Coach Todd Grantham, who coached the D-line, Coach J.B. Grimes, who coached my group, and then you had other coaches. It was so many, Coach Calvin. It was insane, right? You had all these personalities. And I wanted to redshirt. I went in the weight room. Hampton High Crabber ranked 4th in the nation at my position. Number 1 was Orlando Pace. So I get there, and back then you reported, and then the older guys came after the incoming guys. So when I saw Cornell Brown, Jim Byrne, Hank Coleman, Lawrence Lewis, and then, we didn't see Almation in those guys. We just saw, some of them. And then when the players got there, I called my dad and I said, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to take a strong red shirt this year." He was like, "Really?" I said, "Absolutely." So back then, I used to be so terrified about, he wasn't even my coach. I'm an offensive guy. My guy was Gary Tranquil. So I would be with the 1s and 2s getting reps, and you had him getting on us, but then they would send me to the scout team. So Almation is running the defense. If we messed up one time, Coach Almation said, "Get him off the field and take him. I'd rather go against air. I'd rather go against air than these losers you have in front of me." I said, "Oh my God." I'm going to tell you how intense Coach Almation was. He was so intense. I came to Hampton High with a slew of accolades when I came from Hampton High to Virginia Tech. And between him and Grantham and Grimes, Stein Spring, it was like there was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Everybody was our practices were crazy. And I heard this segment he had when he had on Rick, your show the other day, when Almation said he scheduled a fight with that other coach on purpose to kind of make it. I wondered if him and Gary Tranquil did the same thing, because we were supposed to not go live. Almation was getting on his defense. He said, "We're live. We're going live." And I'm like, "Wait a minute. We're not live." And Maurice Shasejo's the quarterback. And guys are coming off and you got to understand, this is a defense with George Del Rico. And, we got Antonio Freeman on the offense. We got stars everywhere. And Almation has his guys going full tilt, coming off the edge. Bam, hitting the quarterback. And then Gary Tranquil, Gary Tranquil looks like Yoda. He ain't but this big. He said, "What kind of show are you running in here, Frank? What kind of show are we running?" And then him and Almation, they getting like face to face. Beamer blows the whistle and says, "Everybody to the locker room, man." So I always wanted, at Coach Almation, I wanted to give you your flowers, man, because I saw the culture you created in Blacksburg, and I was there 4 years after. We won the conference 2 or 3 times. We won 10 or 11 games. We made history, and you set the tone every day in practice. And it was crazy because it was intense at Hampton High, and then I got the Tech, and it was like, I said, "There's that same guy," because I remember when I first met him, he was wearing black pants. I don't know why I remember that.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll say this about your Hampton High School. There were two practices, 3 of them. When I would go around the high schools in the state, one was Hampton, the other was Salem with Willis White and Joel Hicks at Pulaski. As a college coach, anytime, I always loved going to those practices, and especially Hampton's practice. Rick, Hampton High School practice, and I'm sure Dwight will attest to this, you don't hear the coaches. Alvis Mann was this defensive coach. He had Coach Smith. You didn't hear a whole lot except the cracks of pads. I could turn my back. That's what I always said at Virginia Tech. I told Bud and Todd, I said, I better hear this practice. I don't want to see the practice. I want to hear the practice. The communications of prior to the snap, Coach Mayberry, you'll appreciate this. And when that ball snapped, it was nothing but no one's on the ground and cracks of the pad. That's all you heard. And the valuable lessons, when you go watch a really great high school team practice, I learned a lot. I learned a lot going to Hampton's practices and Coach and Salem and Pulaski. You learn a lot.
Yeah, hey, Coach Elmo, or can I jump in 1 second? Christopher, you made a comment about being a U.S. Navy veteran. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, and I spent 100 years in 3 years at Pier 4 in Norfolk and driving across Willoughby Spit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks for your service, buddy.
I appreciate you, shipmate. Thanks for standing to watch. I did. That's it, man. I spent my last command was on. Everything that I did in the Navy is no longer there. The job I used to do is something else. The ship I served on is no longer there. So it makes me feel like I'm ancient. But my last command,
mine's all gone too, man.
Yeah.
I shave with my ship. Every morning and turn it into that.
Yeah. Well, see, I could never do it, so I used to use magic shave. So once I got out, I said I'm gonna just grow my hair out and go from there. But yeah, the ship I used to serve on was the LPD-12, the USS Shreveport. No shores too distant. I became a shellback on that ship. Went below the equator.
I did that as well.
Yes, sir. Ain't nothing like it. So
that's cool.
That was dope.
If you can go through that, you may be able to handle Coach Norton's practice, but I
don't. Hey, listen, all my kids got all that other stuff. I was a basketball guy. I wasn't gonna let nobody hit me like that. I wasn't gonna let nobody hit me like that. I was a basketball guy.
Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to give you
it's great. It's great.
No, you
Dwight, basketball is your favorite sport,
that's my favorite sport. I just wanted to make sure Coach Almation really understood how much I came to Virginia Tech at 17 years of age, man. I turned 18 later, so I was still a big kid. And those coaches, now I'm a grown man, and those coaches still have an impact on me. So when I saw Rick, when I seen one time he had Grantham and Almation on, I was late for a meeting because I just wanted to hear everything they said. First of all, I laughed because this is the most mildest I've ever seen him, because when I heard him and Grantham coaching, it was always yelling. It was always
right.
Well, hey, I'll say one thing. It was a perfect storm, but it was all about the kids. We found players that were tired of losing when it was all said and done. They were flat out. They had enough. They were tired of losing and made a commitment. And we did full pad every day. We did do that for the 2 years, full pads every day. And it was and we were a physical football team. I mean, whether we won a game or lost a game, I don't think anybody wanted to play us twice in a row.
Man, we were so physical. We were so fit. Matter of fact, it's so funny because in the football group chat I had with all the guys I played with, I got one for high school and one for college. And we talked this. We're not shaming the new young guys now. It's just different. Yeah. And I respect the safety concerns, but it's just crazy because we didn't have a code red and code orange, a heat advisory. It would be hot. We would be in full pad, and it would just be the morning practice, afternoon, full till middle drill. Middle drill was so intense.
Live.
It was live.
Full speed, taken to the ground live. It was. Listen, when players, I see that there's a former player that calls, I really don't take the call. I'm afraid their lawyer and I'm going to sue my ass. Swear to God.
I'll get back to you
later. Rick, we were saving Private Ryan out there because, again, I was a red shirt. So coming in, in high school, somebody gets hurt, we stop, and, the trainer come, they just move it up 10, 15 yards, and we keep going. I said, oh, this is big boy football right here. Coach Al Mason said one time, he said, hey, we get them stopped at the 2-yard line, that's good, because we get a chance to stop them again.
That's right. Rick, I got to run. I'm going to step off, and you guys have fun.
Coach.
Great seeing everybody.
Thank
Cool.
you. We'll see
Good
you in the
talking to you,
morning.
Coach.
Yeah,
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, appreciate it,
Love
Chris.
you, man.
We'll see you in the morning,
Thank
man.
you. Appreciate it.
All right, there you go. Great stuff from Coach, man. He jumped on. Yeah, great. He's going to be on tomorrow, by the way. He's going to break down. Everybody's upset about the five-star kid that went to LSU. Well, Coach Elmo has evaluated him, so he's going to share that tomorrow. So,
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'll chime in for that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Upset? The fans are upset?
Oh, dude, yeah. They think that Tech failed because this kid went, left the state and went to LSU. It's crazy.
Rick,
I hear from him.
Hey, Rick, before Dwight chimes in, so me, Dwight, and the Boundary Corner guys talk, right? And so when Dwight talks on Thursdays, and when we talk on Thursdays, right? I'm sitting there, I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, we done talked about all the stuff that he goes over. But yesterday, oh man. Listen, I put in the chat often, I said, we still suck. The reason I say we still suck is because of Big Fella. Because he will not let me drink the Kool-Aid that we're good, that we're nothing. We still suck. And just hearing what he just said to Coach Elmo goes back to it. And I understand why he feels the way he feels about Tech football. And I give him all the respect for that. But what he said, what we talked about, and he kind of got into it today, but he's right. We have done over and above what you could ever imagine. Remember, you were a 3-9 football team last year. You got ran out the building by Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt put 40 on you in a half. They put 40 on you.
And think about this, Chris. And this is what they forget, Rick. We're relevant to be in the conversation of losing a recruit to LSU or Tennessee or Michigan. We're relevant now. We weren't relevant 6 months, a year ago.
Absolutely.
But now they're relevant enough that we're even winning some of those battles. I think it's a great statement to Tech that they lost a damn guy. We'll get another one.
Yeah. That was it. That's what Dwight told me yesterday. He said, hey, we still suck. You should be happy you're even in that conversation.
That's all I was saying. So Rick, when you have those I think his name is Marty, does the ESPN stuff. When you have your teammates and those guys, so that's nostalgia for you. It's the same thing when I saw Al Mason. Virginia Tech, for me, I was the 4th rated offensive lineman in my position by Sporting News, All State. I had all the accolades, and I still had to earn everything. I mean, I was rated top in the state, and my class at the time was one of the best ever in Tech history. But the thing is that my father, who's still involved in my life, my mom and dad, married 54 years, I was never told how good I was. So, like, now as an OG, I can reflect on my accolades and my success. But for Virginia Tech sports, especially that university and that football program, what we built, when I see Al Mason, like, we got it out the mud. So, like, I live and die with this program. So I want them to just play hard, perform at a high level, and appreciate what they have. I don't want everything to be about back in my day. I know my time is over. I want these guys to experience legacy and new memories. Like the way you talk, Chris, Rick, when you got your guys on and you talking about how it was and how I was talking about Al Mason, how we went full pads. Coach Grimes was so hard on us. I mean, it wasn't Full Metal Jacket, Lieutenant hard. It wasn't like that. But it was, you know, I'm gonna get the movie reference in. I'm gonna get the movie reference. It was so crucial because we were running stadium steps with weighted vests on after lifting, and we were pushing trucks. And some days I didn't know what time it was. We were so tired after the morning practice. We just slept in the locker room on the hard carpet because we couldn't move. And then we got up because you heard the horn, and then we got dressed, and then we did it again. Sometimes, for the first time in my life, as hard as Hampton High was, my red shirt freshman year, I was going against future All-Americans and NFL players, J.C. Price, Cornell Brown, Hank Coleman, Myron Newsom, George Del Rico, Torian Gray, William Yarborough. I was going against all these guys, right? You know, and you start to question, man, as good as I was, am I going to make it? Well, there's a little bit of mental toughness that comes with that. So I didn't mean to ramble, but I don't. When Chris says we still suck, I'm just hard on the program because you need signature wins, and I've said this before. You need to give the program and reward them for their commitment, because to show up at 11 a.m. against Ferrum or whoever it was, Furman,
Wofford. It was
Wofford.
It was Wofford. It was Wofford.
And all white, and it was at 11 a.m. Your fans deserve a better product.
62,000.
62,000. Yep, I remember that.
That's crazy.
I mean, and just to piggyback off that real quick, Dwight. That's what my kid says. He said, "I'm tired of losing." He said, "I'm tired of losing," and there's nothing more frustrating than you come from a winning program, you want to win, and you keep falling short and you're not winning and things of that nature. So, man, I love I'll be honest with you, I love everything that Coach Franklin's doing up there. It's like I tell the guys, it's a lot of broken eggshells around there because they got them tippy toeing. They want to cross every T, they want to dot every I. They're doing what they're supposed to doing, and then they push them to be great. So, man, it's got to be new memory season. But I want to get Dwight on the record because I asked him earlier today, and it's his long day today. I need to know. This is long day today. Big homie, big fella, I need, so the whole world is taping. How many wins do we have to get you back in Lane?
In Lane Stadium. Yeah.
I got a cigar for you. Just me and you, big fella. I need to know how many wins we got to have.
It's not. I'll be honest with you, because you're my brother, and
I know, man. I appreciate you,
brother. I'm tired. I got to go downstairs and eat my Cobb salad. But I'm serious. I'm tired. But because I'm a therapist, so I saw like 9 patients today, so I'm tired. Man. So Thursday's my long day.
Salute.
So for me, I just want to see a competent. So if Tech is playing great football, I don't know which game, but I will be back in Lane State. And I wasn't boycotting. It's more so I had 3 kids. I have a son who just went D1 in basketball.
We know. Yeah,
my daughter is on a national volleyball team, and whatever, and got that. And then my oldest daughter just graduated. She moved back home. So my house looks like a mix between Hotel Rwanda and the suburbs. So it's crazy right now. Like I got stuff everywhere.
Right.
So if Tech is playing great football, you will see me, because I miss it. But you know, I said this to Rick on our segment this morning, man. Like when I watch Lauren Johnson coach at Highland Springs, my longtime friend, when I watch Highland Springs against Verina or against a team they're 50 points better than, what I watch as a fan and a former player is no different from if you watch the Commanders versus the Eagles, or you watch Massaponax versus Patriot. I look for the offensive defensive line. I always watch that first, but most important, I look for competency, intelligent football, coaching, passion, you know, just to see if it matters. And, you know, I don't want to invest in something where a team gave up a 14-point leader, they're losing, and they're on Instagram smiling, or they're like, oh, we just didn't execute. You got fans that are spending $900 to go to Christiansburg. These hotels aren't cheap. And they're out there tailgating, and they're watching you drop 3 passes, and then you tweet, they're sleeping on me. No, you're sleeping in the meeting room because you can't catch. I just need – and then you have the better players on the bench. And, Chris, you know more about this, where not Franklin, but the previous coaches didn't play the players. What did I keep telling you and Tally? What did Pride need to do last year? Pride. What did I say?
I'm gonna tell you what you said. First and foremost, you said strength and conditioning sucks. I can attest to that because we've talked about it. Strength and conditioning suck. But you also said you got all the younger players that needed to play should have been on the field. So that was at that time. It was Caleb Woodson. It
Yes.
was Most
The receiver.
Phillips.
Yeah.
It was Most Phillips. It was, have Aiden Green out there, have the kid out there, stuff like that. You said had those kids out there.
You
And
can't, you can't let NIL dictate who you play.
Right.
My son came in the portal. He had 15 D1 offers. And when he went on his visits, the school he's at now, the coach told us in our Sunday morning meeting before we caught our flight back, he said, if you come here and I pay you, don't think I have to play you. For me, I was sold on that because that means you still have to earn it. So to me, NIL should still not dictate who plays. It still should be you show and prove. And number two, when I said go with the young youth movement, I was just saying put people out there that are hungry to perform. Sometimes when you're a veteran, you get a little complacent. Like, Almation was gone. He was there a couple of years and then he moved on. But I was there, years after he left as a player. And Mike Gentry, the legendary strength coach, by now I'm a red shirt junior. I've been in the program 4 years, and he comes up to me in the old weight room. This is when the Merriman Center was being built. And I thought I was working hard. And he walks up to me. I'm by the water fountain. We didn't have the cool water bottles. I'm at a water fountain, for those that don't know. And I'm getting water. I'm leaned over. And Mike Gentry said, he turns around. He's got his hands on his hips like this. And I'm looking around. I was like, what's up, coach? He said, I don't think you're ready to play. I said, what? He said, I don't think you're giving me your best. Like, he just calls me out.
Oh, wow.
He said, and I have never been known. You can't see I got awards everywhere. I've always worked hard. He said, I need more from you. And I was like, what? He was like, don't act surprised. He just was, and Coach Witten was standing behind him. I thought I was about to get jumped. And he was and Coach Witten was behind him, and it was like accountability. And I went home, talked to my then girlfriend, now wife, and I was like, I don't know. They had me thinking. So that next day, when we were doing summer conditioning lifting, I was in there like Thanos. I was like Wreck-It Ralph. I was throwing the weight around, and I was out. And I've always been a hard worker, but I was going crazy. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to see, man. I don't think, and me and Rick talk about this a lot when we offline, and I'll call him sometimes to vent. And I said, whether you play baseball, soccer, or track, when you play college sports, I don't think these young men and women realize, NIL or not, do you realize how blessed you are? My last game, we lost to Norcom. They won state championship that year, right? My junior year, we lost to Bethel, Iverson's team. They won state championship. My senior year, I remember on the cheese bus, we're done. We got our orange slices. We're drinking our Gatorade. And on the bus, several of my teammates are bawling. They're crying so hard. And Ruben Volk, shout out to my DN, Ruben Volk, and another guy named George. They were my teammates for 3 years. I was on varsity before, and they were like, no more practice. They were yelling. They were wailing. They were crying so hard. I was distraught, but I knew in a few more months I was going to Blacksburg. And I was going to play in the VHSL All-Star game. And I got home, and shout out to my dad who never played sports, but he's a PhD. He's a very intelligent man. He said, you don't realize how blessed you are to be going to Virginia Tech. You get to play against Clemson, Miami, Syracuse. These kids that you play with, you're the only one that's got a full scholarship. The rest of these kids are going to go work at the shipyard. They're going to work at Chick-fil-A, start a family, and that's it. So these kids at Tech, Maryland, UVA, Radford, I tell them all the time, appreciate this moment. Appreciate that fans want to take pictures with you on media day. Appreciate the fact that there are people that know you from what you do. That's a blessing. And sometimes I think with the money and the complacency and just, we just got to play harder. No, appreciate the moment, So that's my 2 cents, man,
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Chris,
yes,
Navy
sir.
buddy. Let me see if I can draw Dwight Vick back into this. Dwight, you may get a new customer because I tell you what, you wouldn't say the number of wins if Virginia Tech doesn't win the ACC and get a berth into the college football playoff. I'm selling all of my Virginia Tech memorabilia. I've been a season ticket holder for 34 years. and I'm moving to Charlottesville. So you may have to talk me out there.
Hey, no, don't do that. Don't go to Charlottesville.
Hey, no, don't go there. But hey, I'll be honest with you. I think what Dwight said, and I did this to my kid. And he was complaining one day, right? And so I said, hey, let me take you to go do what I do. Right. So when they were younger, Rick, I used to throw a newspaper, right?
Yeah.
And on Sundays, I would take all three of my boys and we would go wrap newspapers and they would throw the paper. Well, if I had a street, I would have like a porch, sidewalk, porch, skip, sidewalk. And I would have all three of them get out, take the papers. One would do one side, other one do the other side, and they would run all in. I'd drive up the block. And I did that for like a year.
What is that?
And when I quit the newspaper, I went there, got them up on Sunday. I said, I'm done with the newspaper. Them jokers yelled and hooped and hollered. They were so happy I quit the paper because they was going. So one day I was talking to the kid. I said, hey, if I say porch, sidewalk, porch, skip, porch, what you need? He said, I'm throwing that paper. I said, you ain't gonna never have to do the things I did to feed you.
Right.
Because of the opportunity in front of you. Don't never forget that.
100%.
So some mornings when I call him, I'll just say porch, sidewalk, skip. He said, I'm up, champ. And Dwight, I do that. I say, yeah, sidewalk, porch. He said, I'm up, champ. I say, okay, go to work. Go to work. Because Dwight's right. 100% of the kids get an opportunity to go play high school football. 100%. 7% get to go play D1, 2, or 3 somewhere. And then if you're a guy who play with broken hands his senior year or anything else that's dying to get an opportunity to go, you get to be part of that 1-2% to go get to play in the league. So I think what ends up happening, everything had to happen to get to this point for Tech football. I say this often. People were mad how Coach Beamer got, even though he was ready to go, how it went. They closed their wallets. And I think now that you got Coach Franklin here, who is a constant, who has the aura of winning, who's a real professional. He ain't got no new friends. He ain't got no new buddies. I'm buddy with Coach Pride. I got Coach Pride's number. I can call him. I know his wife. I can call him. I don't know Coach Franklin's number because he don't want no new friends. He talked to me when I come up there. He speak to me, my kid do something good. Coach Franklin about business, and I love it. So, I just want to win, man. I'm like Dwight. I want to win. I want new memories. Yeah. I want new memories. But like I said to you in chat, Rick, I'm not doing my prediction until after training camp.
Correct.
Once fall camp gets in, and I can see we can get all the way through healthy and start putting some stuff together, then I'll get my prediction.
100%.
But DVP, what's going on with baseball?
I
thought I'd throw that in. Guys, I have to run. Rick, this has been awesome.
No, this is fun, man. For the first one, it's been great.
You.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
Actually, I'm going to jump out with him, Rick. I probably let somebody go down here and eat some food.
The wife's looking out the window. See, I'm trying. Hey, Rick, I'm at 11 years. You're at 11 days. I'm trying to get there. All right, man. Y'all be good, but I'll see you in the morning, man.
Thanks, Silas. Good stuff, brother. Thanks for jumping
See you in the morning.
Thanks, man. There you go. Good stuff. That was fun. Thanks, Morris. Thanks, everybody. Good stuff. And hey, now we're back to how the three of us started here. Well, no, Morris was first. That's right. Yeah, how did things go? Have you heard anything updated DVP with baseball today?
But major leagues, college. Talk about.
Yeah, I understand. Who's going to win the College World Series?
Well, I sort of got a horse in that race. The ace pitcher that UNC has, his father and I are friends and played ball together. Oh,
really?
The Glauber kid. 11-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Very cool. Okay.
Actually, Yeah, his father played. Father started out at Coastal, transferred to UNC Greensboro, and then he transferred to Montclair State. And Norm Schoening, the greatest coaches in Division III baseball history, said he need to be on the mound with that arm. And so he finally bought in. He ended up getting drafted, played a few years in the show, and then now his son's hitting 97. And he's only a freshman. And I think he made four. Last time I checked, 4 publications. He's the first team All-American.
Oh wow, wow. Well, it's very cool, very cool. Well, David, I mean, you hear all that. You hear all that. You coached at Narrows, right? You're in Parisburg, and you're coaching all these young guys. It all stayed the same, doesn't it? And what did they say? It's about winning. It's about accountability. It's about winning. It's about all the right things. It doesn't matter what level, what part of the state, what part of high school, college, whatever it is, man. Winning has the same formula, does it?
And it all comes to the same thing, like you were saying. Yeah, the thing is, I was listening to Dwight talk about when he was when Gentry got on him in the weight room and stuff, and it makes me think back to, I see a lot of younger coaches now, and they get excited about their weight rooms, and they're posting their numbers that they're having in their weight rooms and everything. Well, I've seen weight rooms with strong numbers. What kind of intensity do you have in those weight rooms and in those workouts? And what are you getting there from that? And I've seen a lot of attendance in weight rooms, but I haven't seen in certain situations kids getting stronger.
Right. Yeah.
And
DBP, you do that baseball too.
Yeah. Oh,
the culture thing. It plus it builds culture.
Yeah.
We had we had a kid in Alta Vista, Grayson Thurman. He was a catcher in high school, and just finished up. Had 4 years, I think, in the Blue Jays organization as a pitcher, and he was a catcher in high school. And went to Lynchburg, and whoever the coach was at Lynchburg College converted him into a pitcher, and he ended up turning it into a fairly decent, professional career for 4 years. He's got something to talk about and everything now. But yeah, he was in that organization for 4 years, and I think hit the AA level. So, but the thing was, I would see him in the weight room all the time, constantly. And, very specific lifts and everything, and just very successful because he was determined.
Well, and that lesson never gets outdated. Doesn't matter. That lesson never gets outdated. So
it began, and then when I go down there and they'll finish playing a game, and then I'll hear Alex say who's got the post game lift today. And I'm thinking to myself, lift after the game. And then some of them do it before the game. And again, back in the 90s, I think really if we lifted 1 day a week, once February started, it was a lot.
Right.
And I on a personal level, I started out the season, my freshman year. I got to Radford. I was a 258-pound linebacker transferring from Kansas. And when I went home that summer, I got up. My father said, get on the scale. I got on the scale, I was down to 204 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. Obviously was lifting for football anymore, but I just wasn't eating right. We weren't lifting regularly, and I looked like a coat rack. But dude. Like they had a graphic up in the college today. So the average height and weight of position players and pitchers for each team. And I think only one team had one of those two variables where the average weight was below 200, and that was like 196.
Wow.
I could think when I played, probably after me and a couple other guys, would be lucky to have it. But you look at the size of these kids, they're huge compared to you saw back in the late 80s, early 90s.
You watch, you're talking about the College World Series and everything, and you watch some of those games. Those kids are the old football saying, "How do they fill their pants?" Baseball, these cats fill their britches.
Yeah,
I mean, they know what a squat rack is, and
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing to see just how all sports have evolved with the weight training and everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, it's turned into a good business model for people up here, where because of baseball training, then okay, let's get an actual trainer in here and keep them in the off season and ability. And you see, I got kids who not only go train for a sport, they're also going somewhere to lift and to run and plyometrics and all that stuff. It's like it's not a cheap endeavor, but it's basically you're investing, trying to get an ROI on what athlete, your son or your players, what kind of return am I getting as an investment, and something that Alex talk about too, and it's another little more component too, is how the kids are eating, like I know how we ate back when I was at Radford, after games or before practice or after practice, but we weren't thinking about how much protein we were taking or electrolytes we were losing. But that's also part of this whole equation. How important, along with.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome, guys. What did you think first time through? Did you have a good time? Everybody have a good time?
Oh, I had a blast.
Yeah.
It's easy just to sit back, when you had when you got Coach Elmo and Dwight and Chris Lester.
You're just like a sponge. You're just like, I just sit there. I'm just like, I don't have to say a word. I just like hearing all it. You learn so much.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
It's so cool, man. It's just those guys are so knowledgeable and they just so passionate about it. It rubs off pretty well. So, but David, I am going to talk to you more about what we're going to do at the 4th and Goal show coming up. We're going to change the whole thing, and we're going to have coaches on from the area. So I'd like to have you part of that. I'll talk to you about all that and everything, and we'll get all that in order. But going forward, I think it's going to be good. We're going to be carrying Blacksburg football. They named their new coach yesterday.
Yes.
So,
do
you know him at all?
I don't know the new guy. I knew Zach. Pretty well. Zach did a good job of
He did
rebuilding and stuff there. And I hate to see him go, but he was actually living in Roanoke.
He was. I think he went to PH, is that right? And he's now at Fleming, or maybe he's at his alma mater. It's something like that. It's something.
Yeah, and everything. So because at first I'd saw the job posted and I was like, whoa, what's going on? Because I was like, they shouldn't have been unhappy with him. And I know Zach well enough to know he didn't do anything wrong or anything. He's about as good as they get. And
that's where he wanted to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, thanks for stopping by, man. We appreciate it. DVP, I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, brother. Take care, man.
Yeah, guys.
All right, David. Appreciate you as always, man. And thanks so much for your contributions. I appreciate it. Every time you send me something, it's like, oh, good. I know this is going to relate to what we're talking about. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, I happened to flip it on and hear that this morning with Ron Shelburne, and he said that about Ford, and I said I know the exact article he's talking about.
Yep. So I'm going to keep that and read it again. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Ray Cox can write. That's who we've got to find.
I think Mike Ashley's working on it. I'm going to ask him tomorrow. We're trying to get Ray on here.
Ray Cox is one of those. I know he's got so many stories. He's just,
and he's a great guy. Ray, the bow tie guy, he was so great. I gotta get him on here.
And the way he could write. I mean,
I know.
It was incredible.
I'm very good. Yeah.
I'm just big on people that can write and, put stuff out there in story and just, they pull me in. I get pulled in very easily when, they can put words together and all that. And
the dude can tell a story. He can tell a story as well as anybody. All right, brother. Great to see you, man. And I'll be in touch with you about things as we progress. It's going to be a busy month of July, getting some stuff out there and sold stuff. So, yeah, we'll get everything together. So,
all right. Sounds good, Rick.
All right, brother. Thanks for spending time, man. That was fun.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thanks for your contribution, man. It was cool.
Next one, I'll have my drink ready.
There you go. Yes, exactly. I think, apparently that's what we're doing now. So, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
We'll do that. All right, brother. Take care,
all right,
man.
see you.
There you go. The coach, David Mabry. That was fun. Thanks to everybody who stopped by. Thanks to everybody who checked in, man. Morris, great to see you. Coach Elmo, Dwight, Chris Lesser. It's great to meet you. Got to see Chris's face. That was great. DVP, everybody who was on there tonight. So there you go. Big Dawg Pop, the debut. Tomorrow we will be loaded up. Coach Elmo is going to join us at 6:30. You don't want to miss it. He evaluated this kid that everybody was boo-hooing about that went to LSU. Tech fan, I think you're going to feel differently after you hear Coach Elmo's evaluation. There's my tease. Will Stewart from Tech Sideline, Mike Ashley with Open Mic, and then Jen, the Gamecock gal. But thanks to everybody. It was great seeing everybody. Great to meet Chris here. And this is something that we're going to build toward, and you got to start somewhere. Got to hit the ground running. I think we did so tonight, man. It was great. We had 8 people on there. It was great to see. We had so many people on there. Great to see how you can just keep adding people. I think 10's the limit, the way it looked down here. So that's good news. Get some former guys on, played at Tech, whatever it might be. There's no rules, man. We're just having fun. And that's just so great. Hearing Chris and Dwight, you just learn. You just learn, man. You just learn. Everybody take care. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on BDST. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Thanks for making Big Dawg Pop a success.